Hello guys, welcome to Tutorialverse. My name is Umar and today we will be talking about HTML. This video is for everyone, mostly beginners. You don't need to have previous web development knowledge for this video. This video is step 1 in trying to even start web development. In this video there will not be any CSS, so it is going to look very ugly. But don't worry, I will be releasing a CSS tutorial pretty soon. On a further note, I would like to say this is our first video on this channel, so please hit the subscribe and like button and give us some support. We will be posting more videos related to web development. Anyways, let's get started. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's needed in every website and it is used for displaying content. Another thing most beginners really get wrong is they think this is a programming language. This is not a programming language, it's a markup language. It is just to display content. So to start HTML, we need two things. We need a browser and we need a text editor. You can use any of these browsers that I have on my PowerPoint here, or you can use any of these text editors that we have on my screen here. I'll be using Sublime Text. So in the real world, you would have to name your file index.html. The name index just indicates that this file is the root file, and the .html extension indicates that this is the HTML file. To run this file, you do not need a server. It can be open in any browser just by clicking on it, and you can open it in any text editor and read it. So let me tell you a little bit about the HTML structure. The HTML structure consists of this doc type HTML, which basically says it's an HTML document, and then you have this HTML tag that you will have a head tag and a body tag, and in the head tag you have something called the title tag. That is the only thing visible from the head tag. Other than that, everything in the head tag, it consists of links and things like that that are not really noticeable by the user. And the body tag is where mostly all your content is visible to the user, and this is where you'll be working most of the time. So anyways, let's start downloading Sublime Text. So just open up your Chrome or whatever it is that you are using. Go up here and search sublimetext.com/3. Yeah, so go ahead and click it. Okay, so yeah, it's downloading here. You can open this one done or whatever. If I open this now, it'll tell me that I need to download it. I do already have it here, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So you just say yes, you want to download it. It'll do the whole installation and all that. Right now I'm gonna cancel it because I have it. So yeah, so let me exit out of that. So what you want to do is create a new folder on your desktop or wherever it is you want to put your file. I'm going to call this my web, and I'm just going to open up Sublime Text here. Just say no to that. So do file, open folder, so desktop, and I said my web, so I'll open that up. Apparently there's nothing inside, so I'll do file, new file, Control S to save, or file, save. I'll go to where I wanted to save, so I wanted to save inside there. So here I have to type index.html. I could type the .html extension, or you could go down over here to select it. So index basically means this is the root file, this is the main file that I'm going to be using. So save that. So now this is open. The thing I like about Sublime Text is you can just type HTML, press tab, and it will auto-generate the HTML structure. So while we do this, you can Control S to save, and then open in browser, which will open it in the browser. And just for you guys, I'm going to put it on two screens, so it's a little bit easier to see. So when you have this open, you can see that right now this says index.html. What I meant by the only thing you can see in like inside of the head tag on the title is like this. Say if I say my website, Control S to save. And now this changes to my website. That is the only thing you can really see. Everything else in here, you can't see at all. So next I would like to go to header tags. Header tags are basically different sizes of fonts, but it's used for headings. So let's say I have an H1 tag. So there's H1 to H6 tags. So I got H1, so header 1. So let's see what that looks like. So header 1 is the biggest tag, H1. Now there are 6 tags, like I just said. So I'll go through that, and I'll say 2, 2, 2. Sorry about that. 3, 3. So I do Control S to save it, and if I reload, I should see that these are the 6 header tags. So you could use this on any heading you like or whatever. Next, I want to say you got a div tag here. What a div tag is basically like a container. It just holds other tags, as I like to look at it. So let's go with a paragraph tag, which is P. Basically just means paragraph. And if you type LOREM, lorem, and press tab, it auto generates dummy text. So you got dummy text here. And okay, so I want to use something called a span tag. What a span tag basically does is it's just like a container but for Word. If for now I'll use style, which is CSS, but I just want to show you guys that the style, like I could use this in a span tag. So I can say color equals red with a semicolon, Control S to save, and what happens is it just saves this. So just basically you can use a span like a div tag, but for smaller things like words and stuff. Another thing, you could use something called a strong tag, and what a strong tag does is it makes the text bolder. And yeah, you'll see right now. So you see here, which we just made bolder. Also, there's another tag called an A tag, and it uses the href element. So say we went over here, I searched up google.com. So I'll just take this link here and put it over here. So now this, whatever I click on, let's say it was this word culpa, I Control S to save it, reload here, and it turns into blue. Now that tells me that's a link. Of course we can use CSS later on and change that, but for now we're gonna leave it like this. So you got this link over here. So if I click on this, now it's gonna take me to Google, because guess what, we put it here inside of the href tag, href element, sorry. Also, another thing you could do is add a target, which means you're targeting something, and if you say underscore blank, so Control S. So what happens now is previously when I clicked on this, it took this whole web page and it changed it to Google. So now if I click it, what happens is it's opening up a new tab. So you could always stay on this site, and it's pretty helpful when you start making websites and you want people to stay on yours. So yeah. All right, so next thing would be a unordered list and ordered list. So an unordered list, I'll show you what that looks like. So an unordered list has an li tags, which just means list. Let's say list 1, list 2, list 3. So it's just like this with the bullet points here. And then there's unordered list, or I can just go like this, copy paste, change this to an O. So OL means ordered list. Control S, save it, reload, and now it's 1, 2, 3 instead of a bullet form. So that's really good to use in some cases if you're making like an information website or something like that. So now what I want to move on to is something called the table. Table is just where, like, if you want to generate basic things later on using SQL and stuff, and you want to put it inside of a table, you could probably just use this. So what you do is open up a tag of table tags, and then inside of a table tag, there's usually a th, what's t head tag, and then you got the body tag, so t body, and inside of that you could basically, in here you would have like the titles, and then inside of here you'd have the things being listed. It's really good for when you do generate a lot of data and you want it to be organized. You could put it into tables like this. So inside of the t head tag, you have something called the tr tag. What a tr tag basically does is, just like the div tag, it's kind of like a grouping something. So let's say th will give you like a little bit of a bolder type of font. You'll see in a second here. I'll say first name, and then I'll just copy paste, and I'll say last name. So let's see what this looks like so far. So you see what I mean, this bolder type of look. If this was a let's say, let me show you here, TD is kind of like a more normal type of font. So you can see the difference here and here, right? So because you're in the head, I would suggest that you use a th. It would just look a little bit nicer. In a t body, you do still start with the tr tag, and what you have to remember is that for every tr tag here, you need to have a tr tag here. So say if I had another tr tag like that, I would also have to have another tr tag of this group. So yeah, for now we'll say like this. So now I will use a td because this is the body, so wanted to make it look a little bit different. So let's say first name is John and last name is Doe. If I control save that, now you can see that John is here and Doe is here. Alright guys, now I want to see something basic. Let's make a form now. Another thing I want to show you, this is how you make a comment. So you basically use this and type in between, and then that is what's considered a comment in HTML. So this is a form tag here, open tag, close tag, and inside of the form tag you have let's say we have a label, and the label is name. So now you have a name, and now if I want to create an input field, I do that, and name is type of a attribute is text. So we do text, and we don't really need a name. We need something called a placeholder. Placeholder is basically, you'll see in a second, it's just like when you click on it, it disappears. So it's not really there. It's not like a value. So let's say, please enter name. So if I say Control S, save that, and I just moved on a little bit. So you can see that it says name, and then it says please enter name. When I type something here, it just disappears. Sorry guys, I just moved this down a little bit. I just wanted to give you guys some space so you're not looking all the way down here. Anyways, so you got this. What other attributes there are? Let's say we want email. I can do this email. There's an email attribute as well. Say email. Control S to save, reload, and you got your tag here. So let's say you're trying to create like a full form. Let's add a password. And now let's say I say this is a text. Let me control save that. And now you can see that this is the password tag. And now if I do this, you can see all of this, right? Say you didn't want to see it. All you have to do is change this input type to password. And then save it and reload, and so now it is hidden. So that's the type of password you could use for passwords. So next I want to show you something called a message. For message we need something called a text area, not input this time. We need a text area, and inside of this text area you could say we could say type equals to text. And then so let's say I save that and I reload. So this is what it looks like, and you can drag it and whatnot. So say I wanted it to be starting at a certain width and length, or width and height. I could say calls 20 and rows 20. Save that, restart. Now it starts at what I want it to start, and it's still draggable. You can make it smaller and whatnot. Another thing I was going to tell you guys is you could put a BR element, a BR tag, and what it does is it just puts the next thing to the new line. Then whatever is next, like this is next, and then let's say after this it will put password on a new line, and now what's going to happen is going to put message on a new line. I'll save that, reload this, and you can see that everything is on a new line. It's just for your clarity. If it was me, of course we would be using CSS. Next I want to show you something like a select tag. What select tag has is an options tag, and here you could say mail, and what happens is you could put a value in here, mail, and this value is actually what's going to be written here, but you do need to have this. So you got that, mail, let's say female, and say other. So I'll control S, save that, and reload this, and what happens is now this is a mail. I forgot to give it a label. Let's say options. Now it has that. Let me add a BR. So now I have these options here, like my male, female, and other. So what happens is this tag, so this options tag is basically displaying this, but when you choose something, say you're using JavaScript or PHP and you want to save this into the SQL database, you have to basically save this value. It's taking this value instead of this word. And I'm just gonna finish the form off with a button. Input type button or submit, and here you do need to give it a value. A value will basically say that that's the name for it, so let's just call it submit. I'll save that, reload, and there you have it. This submit button. Right now it's not really going to go anywhere because we're not hooked up, but say you did want to make it do something, all you have to do is an on click event, and then you use JS to type your method or function there. Now I want to show you how an image tag works. So basically just img, short form for image, and what it has is instead of an href, it has a source attribute, And so basically, if I go here, I search flowers and I press enter. I say images, and let's say I like this one here. I just save image as. I'll save it. So it was on my desktop, my web. So a good practice is to have an image folder. So img, short form for image, and save it inside of there. I'm just gonna call mine flower, and I know that it's a JPEG file, so save that. So now you can see that I have my flower image here. I can exit out of this. So here, all I have to do is type image img, which is my folder, slash flower.jpg, which is the name of my image. So if I save that, see my image pops up, but you can see that it's way too big. So another thing you can do is do width and say 200 pixels, and that's what it will make it smaller automatically with this, or you could use CSS later on. Next, I want to show you what an ABBR tag does, which is a short form for abbreviation. So let's say I create a P tag here, say my BR tags. So right now, if I say Control Save and I hover over this, nothing comes up. So what an abbreviation tag does is it will basically tell you when you hover on it what it is. So inside of the ABBR tag, you need a title attribute, and inside that you can say my title, save that, reload, and now you can, if you hover on it, you can see that it says my title, and that's basically what this is, the abbreviation tag. So one more thing I wanted to tell you guys were about HTML semantic tags. What these tags are basically used for are inside of like blog sites and other things like that. It consists of the header, the navigation, the section, article, the aside, and the footer. I will be showing you what that stuff looks like in a second. So HTML semantic tags, I'm just gonna go ahead and create another file and Control S to save this. I'm inside, I'll call it page2.html, save that, type HTML tab to get the structure, and I will just say this is page 2. I will Control S to save it. So the HTML usually starts with a header tag, and inside of that header tag you have a nav tag, which basically just means for the navigation, the nav bar. And inside of that, I could just make a UL li tags. Let me just see. Control save. And right now, what's gonna happen is I could open this into another tab here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a link, and I'll show you that right now. To add a link, basically you do the same thing with the A tag, and I will add a href tag, and I want this to go to page2.html. And so inside this, I will say go to page 2. And I will say target is underscore blank. I'll Control S to save that, and here I am. Once I click on this, it will take me to that page that we just created with the links here. Right now, these are not links because I still have to put the A tags, but I just want to show you guys. So I will put this one back to the index so we can kind of go back and forth. if you're going back and forth, you don't really need a blank target, because you're still staying on your website, and I guess that's what it really is good for. Next, we have the section tag. Inside of the section tag, we have an article tag. Inside here, we could put a paragraph for now and type lorem tab and get some dummy text. Save that, reload, and this is what it basically is. It's just sections splitting apart. Like say on a blog site, you can have something on the left side, have something on the right side, and things like that. Then you have an aside tag. Inside of the aside tag, I'll just create a h1 tag for a header, call it categories, and inside here I'll create an ordered list. And basically save it, reload, and yeah, you just have that here. Basically, if it says aside, it does not mean it's gonna move over. You still need CSS to position this in different places. Lastly, we want to create a footer tag. This is the end of our semantic tags, and inside the footer tag you could put something like who was it created by, and copyrights. So I'm just gonna write this, and if you write and sign, copy, and semicolon, it will give you that copy symbol. Say 2019 dot tutorial first. I'll save that, reload here, and you can see that you could have something like this inside of your footer at the very bottom. Usually almost every website has this. Alright guys, so that concludes the end of this video, and I just wanted to say guys, if you liked the video, please subscribe. We will be delivering more content soon. Please share and like, and we will see you soon. Thanks for watching.